Hey, Scruffy. So you disappeared yesterday. Yeah? So you didn't want dinner last night, huh? So I kept an eye on the door. Kept looking out here all the way till midnight. You never showed up. And the other door was open too, so you didn't seem to appear there either. No meows. Well, I saved your dinner from last night. So it's meaty pate, super supper, and kibble. So the kibble is probably a little soggy now. But I don't think you get to be picky. Yeah, you're the one who decided to not show up. Okay, well, I'll bring it out now. Oh, charging the door. Coming in? I was just going to feed you. I was kind of annoyed with you. So you bring out the food? See the food here? Yeah, it's a little cold. Oh, you're coming in, huh? So after yesterday, you have a completely different change of tone, huh? Wow, you're going deep into the kitchen now. Yeah, changing your mind? Okay. You got your food. So yeah, I'm a little early tonight. So I thought we'd try to get dinner done earlier. So about a half hour early. So I wasn't sure if you're going to be hungry since you didn't eat yesterday, or at least for me. And I'd like to eat too. So yeah, I got your food here. So you want to go out and eat? Or are you going to take a look around again? So you're still coughing? Still grooming, huh? So yeah, we're going to have to take care of those fleas at some point. Okay, so you're going to go out? So I'm going to... Looks like you want to stay in. I don't know, you keep looking out the door, so I don't know. So I got your food. So I'd like to reestablish kind of our pattern, because yeah, you've been kind of breaking it the past week or two or more, and then definitely yesterday. So yesterday is the first time you haven't eaten, and I'd say almost a year. Okay. Want to go outside? Let's open the door a little more. Yeah? Okay. Okay, so I'm going to walk around you. Put the food on the table. Okay, so I'm gonna change the water. So on that side now. Yeah, so you keep changing the position. So, he didn't drink much water, but it looks like he did drink a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna grab the glove and sit down. So we're gonna try to reestablish some routine here. Okay. So as a recap, Scruffy did not show up for dinner last night. So about an hour before dinner, I'd say, roughly, I came out here so I could water some of the garden. I'd actually started watering the front yard first, but I knew he was back here most of the day sleeping on the deck. And so originally I said, okay, I'm going to do the front first so I don't disturb him. But I finished the front earlier than I expected. Well, I had more time left than I expected. And since there was still sunlight left, felt I better probably start watering the backyard too, because I keep putting it off. So since I still have some sunlight, I better take advantage of it. So that meant I had to come back here and disturb Scruffy. So he was not pleased to see me, even though I was tiptoeing out here trying to be respectful of how terrified he can get. Though recently he's not been that terrified. He's just been kind of, what are you doing out here? But yesterday, yeah, he had that terrified look again. And I wasn't that close to him, and I wasn't approaching fast, and I didn't have any equipment or anything yet. I was just starting to come out. But yeah, the moment he, saw me and I was, maybe 50 feet away or whatever, he decided to bolt off the deck. And then he kind of watched me from the garden. I eventually got the hose going, did my watering. He eventually came back on the deck because I was nowhere near it. He was kind of watching me. And then when I was finishing up, I was getting closer to the deck as I was finishing my watering. I wasn't on the deck yet. I wasn't even getting close to stepping on it yet, but he decided to run off the other end of the deck and keep his distance even further. And so I finished watering, and then I caught him on the other side of the garden watching me. And then I went in, and then I guess maybe a half hour later I came out to do his dinner, and he was not here. And I don't think he left into the front yard, because the place where he'd normally cross into the front yard had a lot of water in there. So my theory last time when he was late to dinner, not missing but late, my theory was he got cut off because he might have been in the front and I watered the little section that he uses to cross and he didn't want to get wet. If that theory is true, then he shouldn't have left the yard, because he would get just as wet trying to leave the yard. So I checked. It's kind of like that neck rub there, huh? Okay, now he doesn't seem like anything. Okay. So, anyways, I checked periodically last night to see if he'd come to the door for his meal, and he never came. And so I assume he didn't want his meal, and he didn't want to see me Didn't want pets, didn't want anything, except keep his distance from me. And then today, I saw him hanging out in the yard. So I knew he was around, and his water bowl wasn't that empty, but there's some water that was missing, so I knew he'd probably taken a drink. Didn't look like it was raided, so I don't think it was probably another animal. So yeah, I'm not sure what's up with Scruffy. I guess he just wants to be here only when he's hungry, and then when he's not, he do whatever he can to avoid me. So that's why I'm a little cynical, a little jaded. So I think, him coming in today, it's probably just a function of him not having a good enough meal yesterday. He's like, probably messed that up. I probably should, demand more foods, come in here, trying to manipulate me. So you get your food, but don't expect me to be a pushover. So my theory is that yesterday he probably caught some bird or rodent or something close to dinner. So maybe when he was avoiding me, he caught a meal when he was in the garden. And so since it was so close to dinner, he felt, I don't need to eat dinner from the human. I already ate dinner. I don't need him. Got all the food I need. So he didn't show up all night. Not even for dessert. So that's my working theory right now, because he didn't leave the yard. Well, he may have left the yard, but I kind of doubt it. So he was here all day. And it was wet last night. So he thought he could do better by avoiding me. But when he can't, then he comes meowing here. Okay, well, I think we're food time here. You're getting a little into the neck rub again. But, I think I want to eat. And I got stuff to do. Okay, let's give you your food. So we'll see how fast he eats tonight. See how hungry he is. But I saw him sleeping most of the day out here. So I think early this morning I didn't see him, and then I think mid-morning caught a glimpse of him near one of the trees that I think is dead now. So He was there for a moment, and then he moved on. And then I think, or starting around lunchtime, he was sleeping on the deck pretty much the entire afternoon. So I actually got a bunch of footage of him sleeping near the railing, and he was pretty much there the entire afternoon. I think he moved slightly over in the very late afternoon to a different part of the railing, but yeah, he was pretty much that same vicinity the whole day, sleeping. So the weather had heated up starting yesterday, so it's actually been really hot again. So I think today is supposed to be the hottest day. Yesterday was pretty close to today, but today was supposed to be hotter. And then I think it's going to start gradually cooling off, but it's still going to be hot for the next, I think, at least 3 days at this point. So trying to stay cool. So I still need to finish watering the rest of the garden. I only got 1/3 of the backyard watered, so I gotta do 2/3 more. And then I keep putting off the fertilizer stake thing. So I keep thinking I'm just gonna go maybe try to buy another fertilizer stake that is closer to the composition that I was told to get, but it's still not perfect. And because I keep putting it off, I'm thinking maybe I'll just use the one that I have, but either way, I gotta do it soon. So yeah, continue to be behind on tons of things, and yeah, more things just keep piling on my plate, so yeah, I'm kind of stressed. So I didn't really expect or want extra drama with Scruffy here, so that's not helping. So yesterday I went for my bike ride. I was thinking about taking a recovery day, but I was going to base it on the weather, so I figured I'd take the recovery day on the worst, or the hottest day, so I ended up taking the recovery day today. So I did come out and do pull-ups today, but I did it at the different section of the house, so Scruffy was not affected. But I don't know, maybe I need to start making it a practice to come out here more often and just do the gardening, regardless of what Scruffy wants, just to get him used to the fact that yeah, I need to get out here sometimes and do the gardening. And if he misses a meal, so be it. So, trying to think if there was anything interesting at the park yesterday. I went for my ride. I think there were more people there than usual. Parking lot was by no means full, but yeah, I think there were more people there than I think in recent memory. And actually, yeah, now I think about it, I think there were some field trips or something going on, because I noticed, yeah, there were a couple of groups, different groups going around leading children. So yeah, maybe there was like field trips planned or something. And oh yeah, there was at the pedestrian entrance, there was a booth set up by the park rangers. I've never seen them do this before. So they drove up the truck, parked it on the dirt, and they set up a folding table, and they had pamphlets and looked like informational things, and a park ranger sitting at the table. He said hi as I approached, and said hello back. But yeah, he was sitting out kind of in the middle of nowhere at the pedestrian entrance. It's actually a little bit in the pedestrian entrance. You have to climb a steep hill to get to the main pedestrian. I guess that hill is part of the pedestrian entrance, but you climb up the hill first, and then at the top of the hill, there's kind of a clearing, and then the main trail in starts from there. And so he was at the top in the big clearing in the sun. So that was kind of probably an uncomfortable place to put a booth. Or a table. And then I noticed further into the park there were some tents, not tents, like little little sun tarps, like booths set up on one of the trails in the high sections. I didn't go up that section of the trail. Probably should have, just to see what was going on, but it kind of looked like they were doing construction, so they may have been working on the trail, and they just had set up some tarps or something to give them some shade. I did go up the... So I stayed off the exposed hillside. So, but instead I did the hill climb number 3, which is on the other side of the valley, and that's the one that leads up to the not-so-secret entrance. So I did decide to go through the secret, or not-so-secret entrance, and I went to see how they did more of the brush clearing, and yeah, they cut down a couple more trees, actually. So there were some big trees that they actually cut down, and then they cut down some of the poison oak, which is really good. They're a little lopsided on what they cleared. So I was glad they cleared a lot of stuff, but they tended to clear. So there's the elevation side and the cliff side, or the de-elevated side. So it's basically the trail is on one side, it goes up, and then the other side goes down. So they cleared off a lot of stuff on the side that goes up. Not quite as much on the side that goes down, and I think both sides needed it. But they actually did a lot more than I kind of originally expected. I expected them to do a very minimal job, and they actually did a pretty good job. So I'm thinking, yeah, if they just went to that effort to clear off that much on one side, they probably could have finished it by doing the other side as thoroughly. Oh well, it's always next year. So Scruffy's eating slowly tonight. So I guess, yeah, he had a big meal yesterday. So maybe he caught a big fat bird or fat rodent. Yes, I'm still not seeing many birds in my yard, so I think he's killed them all. Oh, and I missed the flea market again. So I happened to ride past as they were packing up. So yeah, I left a little late yesterday, and it was I didn't get up early enough to leave early, and so by the time I got out and got everything prepared and checked the weather, it was one of those situations where, gee, it's already late, and it's I think it was getting close to noon, but the weather was going to be so hot that it was still better to go even at high noon than it was to wait till the late afternoon. And yeah, there's a little bit more to that ball. And then I needed to oil my bike pretty badly. So before I left, I completely re-oiled my chain and some other components. So by the time I actually hit the road, it was like probably a little afternoon. So yeah, kind of an uncomfortable time to go out, but I figured today would be even worse. So tomorrow I'm supposed to do a long run, but I'm worried it's going to be hot still, so we'll see. But Scruffy's finally done. So 2 nights ago he bolted immediately after the water, so that's why I was saying he's been a little peculiar. He hasn't been very friendly, I think, the majority of the past few weeks, I think. Only on rare occasion. So I don't know, I don't really know what's going on in his little cat head. So I feel like he's been regressing a little bit. And so I kind of, that's why I was a little surprised he came in tonight, because it's kind of counter to everything else he's been doing for the past month. But I think it might be because he, didn't get a meal last night, and so he's maybe starting to regret that. Yeah, he's drinking a lot tonight. Wow, that's a lot. A lot of water he's drinking. Wow, he's dashed off again. He did that 2 nights ago. Okay, folks, I'm wrapping it up here. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.